Hi everybody, welcome. It's Klara. This is my first attempt at a YouTube yoga video that I'm going to hopefully upload for you guys. So bear with me. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but you'll know before you start because you'll see it on the screen. So what you need today is a couple of blocks. Okay, if you don't have blocks, use some books, maybe even a little stool or soup can, something you can put some weight on. If you've got a strap, great. If not, use a scarf or a belt or a piece of rope. Please take the class at your own pace. I've got some music playing in the background. This is my playlist. I have uploaded it to Spotify. It's called Zoom Yoga 2020. So if you want to use that playlist for yourself, you're welcome to, or if you've got any other music playing in the background. But I'll just have it on for myself and hopefully you'll be able to hear me quite well. So let's get started, okay? This is gonna be a flow class. Again, not sure how long it's gonna be. Let's see how it goes. Start by taking a nice, tall, comfortable seat. And it's crazy times that we're living in right now. So just take a moment to sit, arrive on your mat. Draw the low belly up and in, take the shoulder blades down the back, tall through the crown of the head. You can close down your eyes. Allow your hands to rest somewhere comfortably on the thighs. And notice your breath. Notice where you're breathing from. You can take your left hand to your chest, right hand to the belly. And then follow the breath all the way in through the nose. Let it fill up the chest, fill up the belly. Notice how the chest and the belly expand, so the hands are just there lightly. Exhale fully. Let the belly soften. Notice the thoughts that you have going on in your mind. And if you feel like you can't focus, or if your monkey mind is playing tricks on you and trying to draw you into those loops of crazy thoughts or unwanted thoughts, just start to count your inhale and exhale. Make your exhale 1 or 2 counts longer than your inhale. Throughout the class, try to have your movement follow your breath. And your breath is your guide. If you start to hold your breath, you've gone too far past your edge. And your edge is that point of sensation where you feel like the body is doing some work, but it's not pain. Your breath is your superpower. Most of the time we walk around unaware of our breath, but bringing a little bit of awareness to it. Having the breath flow through the diaphragm massages the internal organs, helps with digestion. Changing your breath is the fastest way to change your emotions. So it is worthwhile, physically, emotionally, to pay attention to the breath. As much as you can, inhale and exhale out the nose. And then keeping this nice breath that you've cultivated, start to make some shoulder circles, one at a time. Draw the shoulder heads up towards your ears, circle them down and around and back. You can make the movements fast or slow. There's no right or wrong. Get into the elbows a little bit, into the spine. And then bring the shoulders back to level. As you inhale, draw both shoulder heads up towards your ears. Circle them down and around and back. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Nice and big and slow, just like your breath. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And then take the shoulder circles in the opposite direction. And now my spine's getting into it a little bit more. And the elbows, the neck. And then draw both shoulder heads up towards your ears. Circle them down and around and forward. Inhale, up towards the ears. Forward, spread the shoulder blades apart in the back. Exhale, one more like that. Full inhale. Biggest exhale. That's it. And now change the crossing of your legs. Hopefully you've got something under the sit bones to allow your hips to be a little bit higher than the knees. Bring your non-habitual leg in front. Once again, sit up nice and tall, and then inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Pull the hands down through heart center. Press out through both hands like you're pushing the wall away. Keep the shoulders nice and level. Squeeze the shoulder blades on the back. And then one finger at a time, bring your hands into a fist. Drop your wrists like you're holding heavy shopping bags, and then circle that out. And allow the hands to drift down. Inhale to reach up. Bring the palms together to touch. Get a little bit taller, root down through the sit bones, reach up through the fingers. Nice and lift out of the hips, tall through the spine. Allow the right fingertips to come to the floor, reach up and over with the left arm. Stay heavy in the left sit bone. I'm mirroring you so that you can just follow along. And now the left fingertips are going to come to the floor, right arm reaches up and over. Lift up out of the side body, keep the right sit bone heavy. Come all the way back. Tuck the chin into the chest, reach your arms forward like you're holding a big beach ball. The shoulder blades will come back behind the sit bones. Stay heavy in the sit bones. Inhale, reach up. Bring the palms together to touch, interlace the fingers, flip the palms away from you, tuck the chin into the chest. And once again, take the shoulder blades back behind the sit bones. Really press out through the index finger mound. So rotating the hand away from you. And then come all the way up. Release the hands. Let's take the right hand between the shoulder blades. Left hand will come to the back of the right elbow, just a nice stretch here through the shoulders. Pull the low ribs in, keep that spine nice and tall. Lift up out of both sides of the waist. And then inhale, reach up, maybe look up. Left hand's gonna come between the shoulder blades, back. Right hand to the back of the left elbow. And again, sit up nice and tall, pull the low ribs in, try not to dump into the lower back. Tuck the chin in slightly, just get a little bit of length in the back of the neck. And then bring both arms up again. And then bring both arms to cactus. Sit up nice and tall. Elbows should be level with the shoulders. Crack the heart open towards the front of your room. And let's take sad cactus with the right arm. Palm is facing backward. Tuck that right hand in behind the low back. Reach up and over with the left arm. Nice side body stretch. Option to spin the heart towards the ceiling. Look past the bicep. Stay heavy in the left sit bone. Allow that left hand to come down to the right thigh. As you inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale to twist towards the right. Pull the left shoulder down and back. And the right shoulder down and back. So we level up through the shoulders a little bit more. The head is the last thing to come. You can look over the right shoulder. Breathe here. Keep the breath going, slow and full and deep. Have the movement follow the breath. So with every inhale, you're going to lengthen. Every exhale, twist a little bit deeper. And then let's take the head over to the left. Drop that left shoulder down. So you get a nice deep twist here. If it's not good for your neck, you're going to ignore this. And then pressing the left palm into the right thigh, reach the right arm up and over. Again, heavy in the right sit bone. Nice side body stretch, lift up out of the hip, stretch through the fingers. Cross that right hand down in front. Press both palms into the thighs, tuck the chin into the chest. Push the shoulder blades towards the ceiling. And then reach the arms up. The elbows or arms across, perfect position for eagle arms. You're going to bring the palms together to touch, or the backs of the hands together to touch, or the hands on the shoulders, depending on whatever you have going on in your shoulders. Lift the crooks of the elbows up to the height of the eyes, and then tuck the chin into the chest, take the hands away from the face. Carefully release that, reach both arms up. And slowly let them drift down on the exhale. Let me get rid of my scarf here. Okay, inhale to reach up. Bring the arms to cactus, nice and strong. Crack the heart open. Elbows are trying to tuck behind you. Keep the neck long. That's it. Sad cactus with the left arm. Pause here. Take the left hand behind the low back. Reach the right arm up and over. Side body stretch. Option to spin the heart towards the ceiling, looking past the bicep. Reach to that arm more, heavy in the right sit bone. Cross the right hand down to the left thigh. And lift up to inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale to twist towards the left. Check your shoulders. Draw the left shoulder down and back. Draw the right shoulder down and back. Head is the last thing to come. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Keep the right hand where it is. Reach the left arm up and over. Nice side body stretch here. And then cross the hand down in front. Tuck the chin into the chest. Push both palms into the thighs. Spread the shoulder blades apart on the back. And then inhale to reach the arms up. Crooks of the elbows are level with the eyes. Backs of the hands or palms or hands on the shoulder. Crooks of the elbows come up to the eyes. Tuck the chin into the chest. Take the hands away from the face. And then carefully release that. We're done with that. Reach up and let the arms drift down. Circle out the shoulders. Okay, nice work. Come off your block. You can set it aside for now. I'm going to get rid of my socks here. And come into a tabletop position in the middle of your mat. So set yourself up in tabletop. Arms are outer shoulder width apart. Fingers are spread. Knees are hip width apart and parallel. And you want to stack the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. As you exhale, press the floor away. Tuck the chin into the chest. Hollow out the belly. Shoulder blades towards the ceiling like an angry cat. Inhale to soften the elbows. Lift the heart, lift the tailbone. Move through cat-cow with your own breath here. No right or wrong. The movement can be as big and as slow or as fast and as small as you wish. But try to have the movement follow the breath. When you're pressing into your base, use your knees, your toes, and your hands. When you're softening into the elbows, let the belly hang. A few more rounds like this. How are we doing? Check in with your breath. That's it. And then come back to a neutral spine. Take your hands and spin them outwards so that your thumbs face out, your fingertips face towards your thighs. And you can take a cat-cow here. So hands closer to the thighs is a little bit less intense. Hands further away from the thighs might be more intense. Careful not to hyperextend through the arms or the elbows if you know that does not work for you. Our forearms do so much for us. We use them for lifting, pushing, holding things, and we rarely stretch them. We're on our devices more than ever. So let's give them a little bit of care. And then bring the hands back to neutral. And now one hand at a time. Start with the right hand. Pick it up, flip it over. Fingernail side down to the mat. Thumb is facing towards the midline. You've got your left hand there for support. Some nice little tiny circles just around this base. And bring that hand back. Again, at any time, if it doesn't work for you, you're not going to do it. Any wrist injuries, please be mindful. Pick up the left hand, flip it over onto the fingernail side. Small little wrist circles here. You can switch directions or stay in the same direction, whatever works for you. And then bring that hand back. Okay, zip up the inner lines of your legs. So your knees are going to touch your heels, your shins, your calves. And then check to see that all your toes are tucked as you bring your torso to vertical. Hips onto the heels. If you need something there for a little bit of support, go ahead and do that. Or maybe the blocks under the hands. Like this, okay? And just sit up nice and tall. Let's get a nice stretch in the bottoms of the feet. Inhale to reach up. Let's distract what's going on in our bodies. Pull the hands down through heart center, interlace the fingers, press them away from you, flip them away from you, palms push away. Tuck the chin into the chest, take the shoulder blades back behind the seat, behind the sit bones. And then inhale, reach both arms up. Press up out of the hips. Release the hands. We've got these stop sign hands, as I call them, really pressing out through the heel of the hand. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, and one finger at a time, bring your hands back into the fist. We've been here before. Heavy wrists, like you've got shopping bags on the end, and release that. That's it. Come out of this at any time if it feels too intense. Okay, your fists are going to come to the floor. Untuck your toes so that your toenails are connected. Walk your hips back, torso comes to vertical. Notice how this feels in your feet. Bring your fists down on each side of your thighs, and then just gently lift up through the knees. Breathe into that. Lower it back down. Let's do one more like that. Hands on each side of the fist. Press up. That's it. Come back to bring the hands onto the floor and just tap out the feet or circle out the ankles. We like to do things twice in yoga, so let's tuck the toes again. Make sure that all the toes are participating. Walk yourself back to that upright toe stand position. Maybe it feels a little bit different the second time. And then walk the knees away from you slightly. And then walk the knees back. Walk them away and walk them back. Yeah, just really subtle. Bring them back. Bring the hands to the floor. Nice job. Untuck your toes. Tap it out. Circle out the ankles. Good. Okay. And then come back into a tabletop position in the middle of your mat. Keep up the inner lines of the legs nicely zipped up. Walk your hands one hand width forward of your shoulder so you're back in this tabletop position, but a little bit elongated. Spread through the fingers a lot. Cross your ankles and then shift your weight forward till your heels come to your bum. Your shoulders will be over your wrists. You're going to pull the low belly into the spine, so you're pushing up out of the shoulders, looking straight down, keeping the neck long, and then hinging straight back at the elbows. I call these grasshopper arms because your arms are meant to bend backwards like this. We're hinging straight back at the elbows, keeping them glued to the rib cage, doing some yogi push-ups. So we're not in the Marines. We're not doing military style push-ups. Do not let your elbows splay out. Over time, it will lead to injury. So move with the natural movement of the joints the way they're meant to go. Really pull the low belly into the spine, building strength here in the shoulders. Press into the hands evenly. And then come all the way down to the mat. Your chest will arrive first, then your belly, then your thighs. Untuck your toes so your toenails are connected to the mat. And then spider tip the fingers wide. Elbows will be over the wrists. Glue the tops of your feet until you feel your knees lift. Nice engagement here in the legs. Inhale, peel the heart forward and up. Really take your fingertips to the floor. Tent them or spider tip the fingers. Strange cobra. Inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. One more like that. Inhale, peel the heart forward and up. Exhale, lower all the way down. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Tuck your toes. Keep your toe mounds together and the toes tucked. Send your hips back towards your heels. And then once again, spider tip the fingers in front of you. So you're sending your hips towards your heels, nice and heavy, doming the fingertips, lifting up from the armpits, nice and strong through the forearms. And then bring the palms to the floor, untuck your toes, shift your weight back. Child's pose, let the chest come between the thighs. That's it, bring the hands to prayer, tuck the thumbs in behind the nape of the neck, walk your elbows away from your knees, let the chest sink towards the floor a little bit more. And then bring your hands onto the mat, coming back into tabletop. Press yourself back into a downward facing dog. So your hands will be a little bit forward of the shoulders, You're going to tuck the toes, take yourself into this upside down triangle shape. And in your first down dog, pedal up through the feet. Pull one heel towards the floor, bending the other knee in towards your chest. Take lots of movement in the hips. Take a look at your hands. See if you're spreading through the hands evenly and placing the weight into the index finger and the thumb mound. That's it. Magnetize your biceps towards one another. It's like you're trying to push the mat away from you in front of you. And then come high up on your tippy toes. Bend your knees so you can push more into your hands. Take your hips further back towards the top back corner of the room. Keep that. Take a big inhale here. And then as you exhale, slowly start to have your heels come towards the floor. See if the heels can disappear behind the ankles. And stay with the sensation that you might feel in the back of the legs. So inhale to expand. Exhale to settle. The breath will help you here. It can be quite an intense first down dog of the day, perhaps. And now float forward to plank, top of a push-up. Shoulders will come over the wrists. And notice if you've had to do some shuffling, moving your hands and your feet to get into your plank. If you have, then find your plank first so that your shoulders are over your wrists. You're long out through the crown of the head. You're pulling the low belly up and in. The hips are level with the shoulders. You're doming your spine slightly towards the ceiling, and your heels are stacked over your big toe mound. This is a super strong pose, right? Every aspect of the body is working. The core, the back, the hands, the shoulders. Breathe into this. Now keep that and just simply push yourself back to a down dog. So that is the stance that you should have in down dog, so that you're not having to adjust your hands and your feet every time. And then shift your weight forward once again, nice and strong. Come back into down dog. Whew. All right, let's come high up on the tippy toes in our down dog. Shifting both feet over to the right, so you're coming to the outer blade of the right foot, inner blade of the left foot. Keep pushing into the hands. Take the hips up and back. And then come high up on your tippy toes again. Allow the feet to swivel over to the left. Inner blade of the right foot, outer blade of the left foot. Check to see if your hips have crept forward. If they have, press more into the hands. And then come high up on your tippy toes once again. Bend your knees. Send your hips back towards your heels, so you're really strong in the hands. Load this spring. And then if you wish, you can hop to the front of the mat, or you can take several hops, or you can walk your feet between your hands, coming to the top of the mat. And when you arrive, just take a forward fold here. And breathe. If you have a block, this is a great time to bring it underneath the hands. I'm just going to put my hair up here. How are we doing, everybody? Okay. I'm going to go sideways so that you can see me. So in your forward fold, check to see that your feet are hip width apart and parallel, and check to see where your bum is. If your bum is hanging way out back here behind the heels, have the block under your hand, shift your weight forward into the toes a little bit more so that your hips can come over your heels. Let the head go. So rather than looking at the feet, because you still have to hold your head up slightly to do that, look back towards your belly button. And then notice if your heels are lifting up here. And if they are, draw your heels down and back. So super glue the heels towards the floor. And then just breathe into this. You get a nice engagement in the whole back of the legs. That's it. Keep the engagement in the back of the legs, and you can either bring your fingertips to your shins or keep them on the block. Halfway lift. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do that one more time. Shifting the weight into the hands, into the toes, pulling the heels down and back. Lengthen through the back of the legs. Maybe you start to find that the torso comes down the legs. You don't need the block. Breathe into this. And then halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. This time you're going to grasp opposite elbows. Just cup them in the hands. And then just sway out through the torso. Let the head be heavy. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. This time interlace your fingers at your low back. Bring your palms together to touch if you can, and take the knuckles right to the middle of the low back. Draw the elbows towards each other, like you're trying to have them disappear behind you, and you're cracking the heart open towards your thighs. Get a nice engagement in the shoulder blades here, like you're squeezing a pencil there. And now bend the knees deeply. You can straighten through the arms any amount to get a nice shoulder stretch. Breathe into this. Yeah. And let's bend into the left leg. Take both hands over to the left. Straighten through the right leg, maybe look over your right shoulder. Exhale. Let's take it the other way. Hands come to the right. Right knee bends, left leg straightens. Really press into the sole of that left foot. Come all the way back and release the arms. Let them be heavy. And then one vertebra at a time. Let the head be heavy, arms are heavy. We're gonna uncurl. Coming up to standing. Tuck the pubic bone under towards the belly button. Press into the feet. And here we are in Tadasana, mountain pose. So hopefully we're a little bit warm by now. If you need to shed a layer of clothing, stand nice and strong on the mat in mountain pose. So feet are hip width apart and parallel, palms are facing forward. As you inhale, reach both arms up. Bring the palms together to touch and heel toe the feet together. So the toe mounds, the ankles, the knees, anything that you can squeeze on the inner parts of the legs, squeeze them together. Rise up out of the hip bones. Press into the feet more, get really tall. Squeeze the ears with the biceps. Something so simple, but it's so much work involved here. And we're gonna lean over to the right. Send the hips over to the left. Keep squeezing the inner lines of the legs together. Come all the way up. Other side. Hips to the right, hands to the left. Reach through the fingers. Come all the way back. That's it. And now right hand forward, left hand back. Open twist, spread through the fingers. Come all the way up, palms together to touch. Left hand forward, right hand back. Reach through the fingers, twist from the middle of the spine. Get really tall. Pull your hands down through heart center, fold over the legs. Let it go. Bring your fingertips in front of your feet. Sit your hips down and back. Reach your arms forward like you're holding a big beach ball. So chair pose. Spread the arms as wide as you need to accommodate your shoulders. Get a little bit buoyant here and sit the hips a little bit lower. Plug the shoulder blades back in. Yeah. So you're drawing the low ribs in. Look past the ends of your knees. Maybe you can even wiggle your toes. One more breath, nice and strong. And then exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Let's take a halfway lift here. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees deeply, plant your hands. Step the right leg back, step the left leg back. Downward facing dog. And again, look at your down dog, spread through the fingers. Take a look at the hands, magnetize the biceps. One more breath here. Float forward to plank, top of a push-up. Hopefully you're not having to shuffle the hands and the feet. Nice and strong here, full inhale. You can lower the knees and do the Yogi Push Up like we did, lowering down, or hinging straight back at the elbows. Draw the shoulders a little bit past the wrists, look straight down, and with control, push the floor away. The elbows hug into the rib cage. The chest will arrive first, then the belly, then the thighs. Untuck the toes. Once again, engage the legs a lot. You'll feel your knees lift. Your toenails are pressing into the mat. Draw your hands back under the elbows. Squeeze the elbows behind you like you want them to disappear. Squeezing the shoulder blades. Inhale, peel the heart. Stay long in the neck. Breathe here. Hover the hands. And then carefully lower everything down. Exhale. Zip up the inner lines of the legs. So again, big toe mounds, ankles, knees, shins, thighs. Squeeze everything in together. Draw those wrists back under the elbows. Draw them towards each other. Use the strength of the back body to peel the heart up. Breathe here. Stay long in the neck. Option to hover the hands and lift up through the feet. So pointing the toes back behind you, getting them as far away from the crown of the head as possible. Both legs lift up as one. Squeeze them together. One more breath here. Full inhale. Lower everything down. Bring your hands back under your shoulders, tuck your toes. If you need a breath in child's pose, go ahead and take that. Otherwise, let's meet in downward facing dog. Here we are, from down dog. Take the right leg up and back. Keep the hips level. We're gonna come through the center, bring the shoulders over your wrist. Pull the knee into the chest. Tuck everything in, hollow out the belly. Take the right leg up and back. Once again, drawing the shoulders over the wrists. Pull the right knee to the right elbow. Hover here. Press into the hands. Take the right leg up and back. Nice and steady. Hips are level, toes pointing straight down. Shoulders over the wrist. Right knee crosses under the body, left elbow. And then bring it back to center. Let's lift that right hip up a little bit higher. Step the right foot forward. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, reach up, low lunge. Left hand forward, right hand back. Reach through the fingers. Come all the way up. Really press into that front foot. Knee should be over the ankle. Left hand forward, right hand back. Come all the way up. One more time. Left hand forward, right hand back. Allow that right hand to drop down towards the left thigh. Reach up out of the left fingertips. Look over the right shoulder. Bend this elbow. Take the left elbow outside the right knee. Bring the other hand on top. Twisted prayer. Press into the hands. Take the thumb to the middle of the sternum. Right elbow points towards the ceiling. Look over the right shoulder or towards the ceiling. Breathe here. Option to pick up the back knee, extending up through the back heel. Crown of the head comes far forward. Tuck that right sit bone underneath you a little bit more. Breathe into that. Carefully untwist, plant both hands. Actually take the right hand on the inside of the right foot and step the left foot in between and come into a yogi squat. So you might need to take the feet a little bit wider. Toes are pointing out, hands can stay on the floor. Let the pelvis drop down between the hips. Bring the hands to prayer and breathe here. That's it. If you need a block underneath the sit bones or 2 blocks, go ahead and do that. Totally fine. Wherever you are, breathe into it. That's it. Carefully bring your hands to the floor and lift the hips up for a forward fold. Heel toe the feet back to hip width. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Bring your hands to your waist. Squeeze the elbows towards one another on the back. Press into the feet. Come all the way up to standing. How are we doing? Connect back to your breath if you've lost it. Inhale to reach up. Look up. Pull your hands down through heart center. Forward fold. Uttanasana. Heel toe the feet together so that the big toe mounds are touching. Let's take the hips down and back. Second time in this chair pose. Reach the arms forward. Plug the shoulder blades in. And then sweep that right arm down and back. Look behind you if you can. Come all the way up. Plug the shoulder blades in. Sit a little bit deeper. Sweep the left arm down and back. Bring it forward. That's it. Carefully plant both hands. Let it go. Forward fold. Bend the knees deeply. Plant the hands. Step the right leg back. And then lower the knee down. Inhale to reach up. Good job. Okay, if you've got your blocks, you might want them here. Fingertips on the floor are totally fine. Blocks under the hands are a great idea. Toes on the left foot are going to scooch forward, keeping the knee over the ankle as much as you can. The back knee can go behind the hip. And coming into as deep a lunge here as you wish. Press into the fingertips to lift the heart. Glide forward through the hips like a cord is pulling your heart forward. Breathe into this. Yeah, turn up the corners of your mouth. It's only yoga, it's okay. Now let's straighten the front leg, bring the blocks back beside. Pull the toes back towards your face. Send the sit bones out behind you, lengthen through the spine. Pull the heart forward and try to lay it down on the thigh. And you can point and flex this foot. And then replant the sole of the front foot. Second time in this low lunge, deep lunge, pressing into the fingertips, wherever they are, on the floor, on the block. Nice deep lunge here. Breathe. And second time, Ardha Hanuman. Straighten the front leg. This time you're going to tuck the chin into the chest, curl through the spine, maybe point this toe, and try to get the forehead or the nose towards the knee. Breathe into this. Send the sit bones out behind you. Walk the hands forward. Coming into the lunge, let's take the left hand on the inside of the left thigh and then heel toe that left foot wide. Bring your fingertips under your, square them up under your shoulders. That's it. And then we're going to come into lizard. So option to stay here. Just pay attention to what's happening with your knees. So your knees always travel in the same direction as your toe. If you want to be more intense, you're going to have the foot parallel so that the inner thigh is hugging in towards the shoulder. That's quite an intense stretch coming down through the torso. Better option is to turn the toes out slightly. You've got a little bit more room in the hip. And then you can stay here or you can draw the heart as far forward as you wish. You might even choose to ski boot this left leg coming to the outer blade, winging it out to the side depending on how it feels in the body. Breathe into this wherever you are. Draw the crown of the head forward. Slow, full, deep inhales. Slow, full, deep exhales. Option to pick up the back knee and extend out through that back leg if you wish. Breathe into this. Whenever you're ready, you're going to lower the back knee, press yourself back to upright, and then heel toe that foot right back to the midline. And again, you can use your blocks at any time. So we're going to, if you have a block though, you're going to set the left one aside and bring that hand to the thigh and hug the elbow into the rib cage, looking over the left shoulder. Option to bend the back knee. Just turn here this way so you can see me. Bend the back knee, reach back with the left hand to take the foot or the pant leg or whatever you can and come into a twisted thigh stretch. So lots of options here as well. A block under the right hand is a great idea. You can resist your hand with your foot. That gives you a little bit more intensity. You can shift your hips back till your heel and your bum meet and then draw that whole unit forward. So you're coming to the top of the right thigh and not the kneecap. You can open towards the side or you can square the shoulders. You can even lower down onto the right forearm. And again, maybe turn the toes out on the left foot and breathe into this stretch. It's super intense. Breathe into it. Last breath here, full inhale. Full exhale. Carefully release the foot. Do not let it ricochet to the floor. Bring the hand back down for support. And then step back. Three-legged dog. Take the left leg up and back. Pull the right heel towards the floor. You can allow that left knee to bend or you can make some hip circles with this leg. And then bring the foot to the floor. We're going to come forward to plank and lower all the way down. Chest, belly, thighs. Untuck the toes. Allow the arms to come alongside the body. Forehead's going to rest. Once again, zip up the inner lines of the legs. And then squeezing the legs together. Squeezing the elbows together and the shoulders behind the back. Lift up. Use the strength of the back body. Keep the neck long. Squeeze everything in towards the midline. Reach with the hands. You can have your fingertips there for support if you feel more comfortable. One more breath here. Full inhale. Full exhale. Lower everything down. Stack the hands. Wiggle out the hips. That's it. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Tuck your toes. And come back into a downward facing dog. If you need a breath in child's pose, always take it or take it at any time. Okay, here we go. Left leg lifts up. Inhale. Hips are level. Shoulders over wrists. Left knee to left elbow. Take it all the way up and back. Three-legged dog. Shoulders over wrists. Left knee to right elbow. Cross it under the body. Really press the floor away. Hollow out the belly. Up and back. Coming through the center. Hold it in. And then lift that left hip a little bit higher. Step the left foot forward. Lower the back knee down. Here you are in your low lunge once again. Nice and strong. Breathe. Right arm forward, left hand back. Twist. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to twist. Inhale, reach up. Nice and strong. Lift out of the hips. One more time. Twist open. Drop the left hand down. Reach the right arm up and behind. Slight back bend. Look over the left shoulder. Tuck the left elbow. Right elbow outside the left knee. Left hand comes on top. Twisted prayer. Really press into the hands. Get the chest and the belly off the thigh. And then option to press out through the back heel. Take the crown of the head as far away from the heel as possible. Really press into the hands so that the thumb comes towards the middle of the sternum. Breathe here. Option to even open your wings. Make sure the knee is over the ankle. So bend into that front leg a little bit more. Wherever you are, bring your hands to the inside of the foot and step the foot outside. Second time coming into this Yogi Squat. Hands to prayer, backs of the arms to the insides of the legs. Lift up. Take support under the sit bones if you need it. Reach the right fingertips to the right. Reach up through the left arm. Option to bind, taking that left hand behind, grabbing onto the right hand. And breathe. Any issues in your shoulders, you're going to skip this. Carefully release that. Bring the hands to prayer. Sit up nice and tall. Lift up through the chest. Here we go. Left arm comes out to the left. Reach up with the right fingertips. Breathe. Tuck the hand in behind. Option to bind on this side. Any issues in the shoulders, you're going to skip it. Or give it a try, see how it goes. You're at home, it's your own practice. You know your body better than anybody. You can always try things and maybe you're not ready for them or you don't feel the body isn't ready for it today. That's why we call it a yoga practice and not a yoga perfect, right? One day, every day is different. And then bring the hands back to prayer. Bring the hands to the floor. Heel toe the feet together. Let it go. Bend the knees deeply, interlace the fingers behind the low back. And here we go, nice stretch here. Bending the knees here a lot really helps. Take the arms up and over as far as you wish. Carefully release the arms. Bring the fingertips to the floor. Take your right fingertips between the feet. If you need a block here for support, totally fine. Left hand to the hip. Bend the right knee, straighten through the left leg, twist to the left. Maybe look up through the left fingertips, maybe look over the left shoulder, and reach through the hand. Breathe, press more into that left foot. Straighten through that leg as much as you can. And then let's bring the hand down, both hands. Put the left hand where the right hand was, right hand comes to the hip. Bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. Look to the right. And then maybe lift up through the right fingertips. Look towards the ceiling or look over your shoulder or just look straight down. If your neck doesn't like it, keep it neutral. Breathe. Slow, full, deep inhales. One more. As you exhale, let it go. That's it. Set your block aside. Heel toe the feet together. Chair pose, here we go. It's our favorite. Sit down and back. Reach the arms forward. Get really buoyant here. That's it. And right arm sweeps down and back. Maybe reach the arms up here. Sit the hips a little bit higher. And then sweep the left arm down and back. Reach through the fingertips really strong. Bring it back. Lift up through the torso. Lift up through the arms. Sit the hips a little bit higher. Pull the low belly in. Squeeze the shoulder blades, wiggle the toes. One more breath. Exhale for a fold. Nice job. And halfway lift here. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands to your waist, press into the feet, rise all the way up to standing. Whew, how are we doing? Pressing into both feet, let's draw the right knee up in towards the chest. Good. Squeeze the knee in. That's it. And you can hang on to the inside of the thigh, or you can reach down and grab on with your peace fingers to your thumb. Open the hip to the right and extend the leg out to the side, maybe the left arm. Breathe wherever you are. Bring the knee back, draw it all the way in, and stick the landing. Nice job. Shake out the legs. Balance is one of those things, if we don't use it, we lose it, especially as we age. So it can be, sometimes balance is awesome, other days it's not. And you might find different times of the day your balance will be different. So go easy on yourself. No one can see you. Maybe your cat or dog at home with you. Okay, really press into your standing leg. That's going to help. Use a focal point. We call that a drishti in yoga. Hands on the waist. It'll give them something to do. They're not flailing about. And then draw the left knee in towards your chest. Really hug it in. So press into that standing leg. Engage the toes on that foot. That will help with balance as well. I'm on carpet, so that's going to be my excuse today. And then you can hug the shin in. Hug the knee in by hanging onto the shin, or you can reach down. Turn the hip out slightly. And then extend through the leg. If you're doing that, maybe through the arm. Shaking is okay. Wobbling is okay. Falling out of it is okay as well. Just come right back into it. If you want to hang onto the wall just for a little bit of extra help, you can do that as well. Not happening for me today. Bring the knee into the chest and plant the sole of the foot. Good. We've done our balance for today. Inhale to reach up. Pull the hands down. Let it go. Halfway lift. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees deeply. Plant your hands. We're stepping the left leg back. And we're lowering the knee down. And we're coming into that nice deep lunge series. So if you need your blocks, grab them. Scooch the toes forward on your right foot. Your back knee will come behind the hip and come as far forward as you wish. Pressing into the fingertips. Gliding forward through the hips. Let the pelvis get heavy. Pull the heart forward. So try not to curl through the spine. Stay nice and tall here and upright. Yeah, and breathe into this. So hips are tricky. We get all kinds of things going on in our head. Might be where you reach for a glass of water or you pause the video. I mean, it's totally normal to start to have all kinds of thoughts when we get into hip exercises. And then straighten the front leg. Bring the blocks back beside you. Ardha Hanuman, half split. If you have a deeper split practice, please take it. But start by, again, pressing into the fingertips, pulling the toes back towards your face. Engage this straight leg. Lay the chest down on the thigh. Send the sit bones out behind you. Breathe. And you might point and flex this foot just to see how it goes. Or maybe you're working on full splits and you can start to draw the toes forward. And there was a time where I could sit in over splits, but years of running have done away with that. But I'm getting there. Breathe into this. Good. Carefully come out of your split or your half split. Take your time. Second time coming into this lunge. So maybe the toes come forward a little bit more. Press into the fingertips. Draw the heart forward. Heavy in the pelvis. Breathe here. That's it. And then second time in Ardha Hanuman. Straighten the front leg. Tuck the chin into the chest. Curl through the spine this time. Let the forehead of the nose come towards the knee. Breathe into it. See if with every breath you can let go a little bit more. So sometimes we hold our breath when things feel tight or really juicy. Do the opposite. Breathe deeper. And then replant the sole of that foot. Walk the hands forward. Take the right hand on the inside of the right leg. Heel toe that right foot wide. Square your hands back up under the shoulders. Blocks or no blocks, all good. If you want to go more intense, your foot is going to be parallel, hugging the inside of the thigh towards the back of the arm. Turning the toes out so the knees can travel in the same direction is a great idea. And you're going to draw the heart forward. So come into as deep a lizard as you wish. You don't have to be on forearms. You can totally stay upright. And ski booting the foot is an option. Back toe can be tucked or untucked, or you can even pick up the back knee. But you're trying to draw the heart forward here. Breathe. So this is a super deep hip opener. Use your breath. And then carefully lower the back knee. Press yourself back up to upright. Heel toe the foot back. Set your right block aside. You can have your left block there for support if you wish. Right hand comes to the thigh. Hug the elbow in towards the rib cage and twist here. And this might be where you stay, and that's totally fine. If you'd like to go deeper, bending the back knee. So engage the toes on this foot. Maybe shift the hips back so you can grab onto the ankle and then bring everything forward. Yeah, and breathe into this. So this might be deep enough if you'd like to go deeper and open the heart towards the ceiling. Wherever you are is perfect. Breathe into it. And then carefully release the foot. Use your breath to bring you back up. And then take this right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Open the hips, stack the right hip on top of the left. You can wiggle up through this leg. And then come into a downward facing dog. Whew. Float forward to plank, top of a push-up, nice and strong here. Breathe, full inhale. Stay for the exhale. Press into the hands more. Pull the low belly into the spine. Draw the crown of the head longer away from the heels. One more breath, full inhale. And then lower all the way down. So if you're lowering down, you want to take the shoulders a little bit past the wrists, hinge straight back at those elbows, and with control, push the floor away. Come onto the belly. Untuck your toes. Let the forehead rest. And then bend your knees so the heels come towards the bum. Reach your hands towards your ankles. This is one option where you're going to draw the shoulder blades together, draw the heart forward and up, press the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. The neck stays long. That's option one. Another option is to zip up the inner lines of the legs. Toes are untucked. Interlace your fingers behind the low back so that your thumb knuckles rest there. Draw the elbows towards each other like we've been doing behind the body. And then maybe extend through the arms, using the strength of the back body to peel the heart up. The feet will come off the floor, knuckles come towards the heels. Breathe. Whichever option you're in, remember to breathe. We're on the belly. Sometimes we hold our breath on the belly, and you can see that's hard for me to talk while I'm on here, so just breathe into this. And then carefully release everything, come all the way down. Hug. Stack the hands underneath the forehead and wiggle out through the hips. Okay, I'm gonna get my blocks out of the way here. Take your arms out to a T. Draw your left fingertips underneath your left shoulder. Press into the left fingertips and roll onto your right hip. So the right arm is out to a T, palm is facing down. Left fingertips can stay here for support. You can keep the top leg where it is, or you can bend the knee and plant the sole of the foot in front or behind. That'll take you deeper into this shoulder stretch, maybe even reaching the left arm back towards the right. So really you can take this as deep as you wish. Breathe here. Tuck the chin into the chest slightly so you're looking towards your right toes. That'll protect the neck. But if you need some cushioning under the head, go ahead. Perhaps a towel or a blanket. And then with control, bring the left fingertips back under the shoulder. Roll all the way down onto the belly. And then extend the left arm out. Right fingertips come under the shoulder, rolling onto the left hip. Palm is facing down. This side might be different. We have different things going on different sides of our body. Tuck the chin into the chest slightly. Right fingertips are there for support. You can plant the sole of the foot, either front or behind, maybe reaching back towards the left hand with the right hand. Breathe here, wherever you are. Full breath in. Deep breath out. Carefully bring the right fingertips back under the shoulder. Roll back onto the belly. Bring both hands under the shoulders and then come into a tabletop position. So my mat keeps sliding over because I'm on the carpet. Come into a tabletop. That's it. Okay, and let's extend the right leg out behind us to the level of the hip. Reach the left arm forward. Your left toes can be tucked so you got a little bit of traction. Make sure the shoulder's over the wrist. And we're gonna do the cat-cow here. So chin to chest, knee to nose, elbow to thigh. Draw everything in. Make space for the knee. Hollow up the belly. Dome the spine towards the ceiling. Reach long. Yeah. And bring everything in. And everything out. Move with your breath, nice and slow, like you're moving through mud. Bring everything in. Take everything long. That's it. Bring the left hand to the floor. Keep the right leg where it is. Actually, if you don't feel any engagement in your glute, lift that heel a little bit higher till you do. Toes are pointing straight down. The pelvis is level. Keep that leg nice and high. Let's take the right arm forward. So it's same arm and leg. And it could be super wobbly. Breathe here. It's a nice work of the core. Bring the hand down, bring the knee down. Take a cat-cow just to flush that out. That's it. Come back to a neutral spine and extend the left leg out. Lift the heel up to the level of the hip. Pelvis is level. So there should be some engagement in the core here right away. And feeling the glute will make sure that you're lifting that leg properly and engaging that whole leg. Let's take the right arm forward. And here we go, cat-cow, chin to chest, knee to nose, elbow to thigh. Draw everything in. Hold it here. A little bit of a balance. It's okay if you wobble. Extend it long. Heel comes away from the fingertips. Pull everything in. Chin to chest, knee to nose, elbow to thigh. Nice and slow. Extend it long. Move with the breath. Start to slow down the breath here. Take your time. Last time, bring everything in. Extend it long. Okay, bring the right hand down and then engage that left leg a little bit more. Feel the glute work. Good, keep it nice and high. Let's take the left arm forward. And typically one side might feel a little easier than the other. Really pull the low belly into the spine, press into your supporting hand, lift that left heel a little bit higher, reach through the fingers. One more breath. Bring the hand down, bring the knee down. Child's pose, nice job. Let your hips come back towards the heels and breathe. Come into a tabletop. Take your hips to one side, knees to the other. Extend your legs out in front. How are we doing? And shake out the legs. Good. Okay. Take your right leg. Cross it over top of your left thigh so that the sole of the foot is on the mat. If you're having trouble getting that foot over the thigh, just take a block under that. And then check to see your posture. Okay, so if you're sitting back here, draw the heart up, sit nice and tall. Good. And then take your left hand to the right ankle. Engage the toes on that right foot. If you'd like to bend this bottom leg, go ahead and do that, but then bring both hands on each side of the hips, lift the sit bones, and make sure they're nice and even. If this right cheek is lifting up, then extend the leg. That's your sign, and it's totally fine to do that. So wherever you are, sit up nice and tall. Shoulders will be over the hips. Left hand to the right ankle. Inhale, reach up with the right arm. And let's take that bicep right by the ear. Stay heavy in the right sit bone. We're leaning over to the left. Hug the left elbow in. Breathe. Might not go very far. Take it all the way back. And now bring the right fingertips beside the hip. Reach up with the left fingertips. Get as tall as you can here. Your right fingertips will allow you to sit up a little bit taller. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Twist towards your right. Left hand can come to the inside of the thigh, or it can hug the knee into the chest. The idea is to lengthen with every inhale and exhale to get a little bit deeper into the twist. Breathe wherever you are. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. A little bit more. Okay, and we're looking over the right shoulder. Let's take the head over to the left. So looking away from the bent knee. Breathe. Bring the head back. Allow the hand to come back behind you on an angle so that your torso is about at a 45-degree angle. Tuck the chin into the chest, bend the right elbow, and just allow the spine to curl. And see if you get a different sensation, maybe in the right side of the body, maybe in the hips. Breathe into this. That's it. And then use your fingertips to sit up nice and tall. Let's untwist, so take both hands over to the left. The left foot is here. The right foot is on the left side of the body. Extend the left leg out to the side. Take your left hand on an angle to the top back corner of the room, the mat behind you. You've got your right hand here for support. We're coming into a side plank. So come to the outer blade of your left foot. You can keep this leg here for support. You can even use the hand for support. If you're willing to stack the knees or stack the legs, tuck my shirt in here. Making sure that the shoulder is over the wrists, maybe reaching up through the right fingertips, maybe looking towards. Squeeze the inner lines of the legs together. And if you have a deeper practice by lifting up through the leg, I'm slipping on the carpet, I'm not going to do that. Bring your hands down, bring the hips down. And just roll back in front. Shake up the legs. Good. How do we do on that? Let's do the other side. Left foot comes over to the right side. You've got your sit bone test. If you're bending this bottom leg, shift the hips, lower down. Right hand to the left ankle, sit up nice and tall. Leaning over to the right, keep the left sit bone heavy. I can't go very deep here because my left cheek wants to lift up. So it's just a slight bend. It's forcing my core to work. Bring the left fingertips back. Inhale, reach up with the right arm. Get tall, get the bicep by the ear. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Every inhale, get a little bit longer. Every exhale, twist a little bit deeper. And breathe. And then let's take the head over to the right, looking away from the hands and the knee. Breathe. That's it. Carefully release everything. Take both hands over to the right. You know where we're going. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do our little twist where you take the hand back. So just come back for a second. Take the left hand back, tuck the chin into the chest, allow the left elbow to bend. Sorry about that. And see if you get a different sensation in the hip. Then use your fingertips to bring you back up. We're bringing both hands over to the right. Left hand is here for support. Take the right hand back. You take the right hand back so that when you push up, the shoulder is over the wrist. That's protecting the shoulder. Extend the right leg. Come to the outer blade of the right leg. Come into whatever version of side plank you wish. And I'm going to go on my mat so I'm not slipping. And breathe. Press up out of the hips. Maybe look towards the hand. Maybe lift up through the leg. One more breath here. And then carefully bring the hand down for support. Lower yourself down. Take the legs out in front. Good. And then bring the inner blades of the feet to touch. Sit up nice and tall. Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. See if you can sit up tall here. Draw the heart through the shoulders. Backs of the arms come to the insides of the legs. You can take your heels as far or as close to the torso as you wish, depending on how intense you'd like this to be. And you can even use your fingertips behind the hips to draw the heart forward. The idea is to open through the legs, pulling the knees towards the floor. That's it. Draw the heart forward. Keep drawing the heart forward, draw the heart forward. And then for the last couple breaths, tuck the chin into the chest, curl down. Maybe the head comes towards the feet. Breathe into this. Carefully use your fingertips to walk yourself back up to a vertical position. Close up the legs like you've got a book here. That's it. Scoot your hips forward so you come into the middle of the mat. Zip up the inner lines of the legs. Take the hands behind the thighs. Come onto the tiptoes. Shift your weight back until you feel like you can balance on the sit bones. And then notice if your thighs are clenching. If they are, just keep the hands behind the thighs. Try to lift up through the heart so you're using the core. If it feels like you could hang out there all day, maybe you're going to extend the legs out. Maybe take the arms out. Yeah, let's take the hands over to the right, over to the left, over to the right, over to the left. Actually, let's do left to right shoulder, right to left shoulder, left hand to left hip, right hand to right hip. Do the Macarena. Take your hands behind the thighs at any time. And then let's extend through the toes. Maybe reach up through the arms. Breathe, lift the heart. Lift, lift, lift. And then slowly, taking the toes as far away from you as you can, tuck your chin into your chest. We're gonna come down onto the mat for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1.5. Bring everything down. And then bend your knees. Plant the soles of your feet on the mat, hip width apart and parallel. Take your longest finger to tickle the back of your heel. So that's roughly where you want your feet, is underneath the knees. If you need to take them further away to accommodate your feet, to accommodate your knees, please do that, okay? Keep looking towards the ceiling, so just listen to my voice from here on out. Pressing into the feet, the back of the arms and the head, lift the hips up for bridge pose. So you're taking the chin away from the chest, and the chest is coming towards the shin. So the back of the head is pressing into the mat. If you wish to tuck the shoulder blades under and interlace the fingers behind the low back, breathe here. That's it. Keep pressing into the feet. The outer blades of our feet are much stronger, so you might find that that's where your weight is. If you can, shift your weight towards your big toe mountain. So you're pressing into the whole sole of the foot. Notice where you're pressing into the feet. Squeeze the shoulder blades, draw the knuckles towards the heels. One more breath here. If the shoulders are tucked, you're going to carefully untuck them. Tuck the chin into the chest, curling from the top of the spine, middle of the spine, low back, come all the way down onto the mat. And then option to take the knees together, feet wide, hands onto the belly. Or soles of the feet together, knees wide, hands on the belly. Connect back to the breath. Hopefully you weren't holding your breath in the bridge pose, but it does happen, right? So always have a moment to reset, connect back to the breath, and then let's set up for a second bridge pose. If you've had enough of bridge and you'd like a more restorative bridge, your block is handy. You're going to set your feet up as you would normally, hip width apart and parallel. But instead of pressing into the feet, just lift the hips and take the block underneath the sacrum, which is that triangular bone at the bottom of your back. And you can take it to whatever height you wish. So you're still getting a nice heart opener. opening through the low back without any weight in the feet. So option to hang out here. Maybe reach the arms up overhead, away from the feet. Maybe extend the legs long out in front, coming onto the heels. Toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. There's Jeffy, our big cat. Hi, Jeffy. Hey, buddy. You're on video. Breathe here. If you're in a bridge pose, you're going to, and your shoulders are tucked under, you're slowly going to untuck your shoulders and start to lower down from the top of the back, middle back, low back. If you're extended out in a supported bridge, you're going to bring your feet back underneath the knees. Press into the feet, lift the hips slightly so you can slide your block out from underneath the sacrum, and then with control, lower down, upper back, middle back, low back. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. You make some circles on the ceiling with the knees. We're starting to slow down the breath, coming towards the end of our practice here. And you've got a few more minutes before Shavasana, so I'm going to suggest a few things. Oops. You can either take a happy baby. Okay, so you're taking your knees and your feet wide, soles of the feet towards the ceiling, extending the spine, not lifting the bum up. If the bum is lifted, take your hands closer towards your knees. If you'd like to take another supine twist, whatever feels comfortable. Bringing the knees over to one side, taking the weight out of the legs, releasing the low back. And there's no right or wrong here in a twist. As long as it feels relaxing, use whatever props you need between the thighs or support under the legs. Or perhaps you want to take a dead bug. Extend the arms and the legs towards the ceiling. Give a big shake. Take a full inhale. Let it all out. Or if there's something else in your practice, a shoulder stand or a plow pose. The last minute or two are for you. You know what your body needs before we come into final resting pose. Hopefully you've connected back to your breath. And then as you're ready, taking your time, you're going to lay your body long down on the mat. Remove any obstacles that you may have in your way. Let your body be completely heavy. Anything that is touching the floor, you're going to allow it to sink right into the mat. So the backs of your feet, your heels, backs of your legs, shoulder blades, arms, head, let them be really heavy. With every breath, let go a little bit more. Some teachers say that Shavasana is the most important pose that we have. It allows us to come into the depth of our practice, let go of what no longer serves us, absorb the lessons we learned about ourselves on the mat, and then allow ourselves to be reborn and refreshed, coming off the mat into the world. So really always take the time to take a few minutes of Shavasana. With every breath, let go a little bit more. Start with your toes, your ankles, your knees, your calves, your thighs. Let them go. Let your hips be heavy. Let your low back sink into the mat and your belly button fall into the spine. Release your fingertips, your wrists, your elbows, the backs of your arms, the forearms. Let your back ribs be heavy. Let your head be heavy. Let go of your chest and any need to control the breathing. If there's a song you'd like to put on for Shavasana, Go ahead and do that. Close your eyes. Relax your jaw, your throat, your cheeks, your forehead. Take a few minutes of complete stillness and relaxation. I will lead you out of Shavasana as well, but you're welcome to stay here as long as you wish. The work is done. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as you wish. If you're leaving us here today, then I will say namaste and thank you for joining me. For those of you that know me, I welcome your feedback. If there's something you'd like to see in a class, I'd be happy to offer it. If this is your first time, welcome. You're welcome to subscribe. I will try to put up as many videos as I can. If you'd like to guide yourself back to a seated position, you're going to slowly bring some movements into your wrists and your ankles, your toes. And then you're going to reach your arms up overhead, away from your feet as you take a deep inhale. And a full exhale. Let it go. Maybe one more like that. Deep inhale. Very carefully and slowly roll to your right side. Tuck your knees up into your chest and let your head rest on your arm. Just take a few breaths here. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly guide yourself back up to a seated position. Taking Sukhasana, which is easy pose with something under your hips. Take a comfortable seat. Once again, sit up nice and tall. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Let your hands rest somewhere comfortably on your thighs. And just notice how you feel. Notice how you feel in your body compared to when you started the class. Notice your breath, maybe the quality of your thoughts. And bring your hands to heart center. Bow your head to your heart. In these times of uncertainty and strangeness, not knowing what the future holds, give yourself a lot of credit for showing up every day with resilience, showing up on your mat, doing this work, helping your body, your breath, your mind. I wholly believe that if we can create a little bit of space in the body, we can create a little bit of space in the mind. So go off the mat today, say nice things to yourself, be kind to yourself. It's been my privilege to guide you through this practice from my heart to yours. Namaste. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe. Let me know if you have any requests. I can tailor classes to what you like, and I'm happy to throw them up here, and you can do them as over and over again if you wish. Thank you so much for being part of my first YouTube yoga class. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.